Hey guys and girls, today we're going to look at the AK-102 assault rifle. This is a true Marmite weapon. Some people love it, some people hate it. I fall into the love it camp myself. The AK-102 does have some negatives, like a low fire rate, which means close quarters fights you're likely to suffer greatly against faster guns. It has low firepower, it can be an issue, and its accuracy at long ranges is not totally amazing. The AK-102 also had its vertical recoil nerfed in Season 6, although I swear the change is completely unnoticeable. Despite those negatives, it is very easy to control, cheap to build out, and in my opinion is one of the top 10 newbie-friendly guns in the game. I have some builds for you and some tips and tricks to help you get the most out of this very fun gun. Let's get into it. The AK-102 is one of those guns that is fun and effective even with a base build. While the price of the bolt has been rising recently, you can often find a base build with a mag and a scope on the market for less cost than the bolt alone. Nice and easy to just grab one of these and get into a match. The base weapon does ideally need a sight added to it. Most of the time you'll already have one of those from the market build if you've shopped around for a minute or two, but cost saving, this sight here is just fine. A base build from the gunsmith is going to cost you between 50 and 20,000 coin. The base weapon recoil is as bad as it gets, and let's face it, it isn't really that bad. For the most part, it's just going to be a pull-down situation. As for the ammunition we can use, the fire rate on the 102 is too low to be super effective at any type of leg meta, so I will skip the HP ammo. Therefore, M855 is our minimum, really. As a level 3 ammo goes, this is not terrible, but expect a lot of non-penetrating shots. A1 is sometimes better to use just for the penetration level, although it isn't great and many of us believe 855 is actually better overall. Given the quality of the weapon build you'll likely be using, I would skip 995 unless you're totally made of money. One thing I like to do with the 102 is grab the Battle Pass Store Premium Weapon Bundle. You just get one gun out of this. I take this, yoink the super stock off of it, and use that on another gun that's going to need it a lot more than the 102. I finish off that build to make a shorter weapon that's great for close range fights. This is a very fun use of the weapon, and if you use the bundle trick, it will be almost free of cost, and will give you that free premium stock to use on something else. You can use this really effectively, even at quite a fair range. The full build of this comes out looking like this. You can choose the stock, but this one works really well for the cost. We don't suppress this build since we want to keep the gun shorter, and of course the right sight is your choice, but the simple red dot sight that comes with that bundle is a great option. A complete build of this from scratch in the gunsmith is going to cost you around 60,000 coin. The recoil here has been improved a lot, so the extra work is worthwhile. It remains extremely easy to control. If we do a comparison here between the base weapon recoil, we can see those improvements. This is very easy to control, and obviously with the bundle trick, you can't really sniff at the price. One of my favourite ways to actually use the 102 is at medium to longer ranges. I guess I like it because I'm really a fan of the type of sight that I can use here, and I like a gun that can be a bit of a jack of all trades. Due to the play style, we will have a longer weapon with focus more on recoil. Suppression is more important here, obviously, and due to the restrictions of the sight, we don't really want to get into close combat fights. The build for this is cheap enough and surprisingly effective. If you think you'll get into a lot of closer range fights, put on a laser, but it isn't totally required. A lot of these parts, like the suppressor, can be bought a lot cheaper using market tricks. Some of these are explained in my Cohen video, which is showing on the corner for you now. A complete build of this from scratch on the gunsmith without those tricks will cost you about 60,000 Cohen. The recoil here is a little tougher to control at range, but you do get used to it. Short bursts at extreme range are ideal, but I would expect to blow through a lot of rounds to pull it off, although you will. Obviously the sight choice makes the recoil seem a lot worse than it really is. The AK-102 is also available in a tier 4 bundle. You can obtain these from the Battle Pass or the Battle Pass shop in the choice bundles, as you can see on your screen. Although I find the sight a little annoying for some reason, it does work on this build and it's pretty nice and has a great resale value once you've used it once. If you don't have the bundles available but you want to use it, here is the build it uses. This is actually currently one of the default builds, but I included it in the video just in case they ever change this in the future. A complete build for this from the scratch in the gunsmith will cost you around 100,000 Cohen. This build is really easy to control, so we don't have to modify it out of the box, just unpack and go really. Obviously with the sight we can switch to a one-time zoom when really needed, and if you want to use this long range and you like the suppressor, you can always add one. I hope you found this video useful. Feel free to suggest any other weapons you'd like to see in the comments, or if you have any questions, do let me know. If you did find it useful and want to see more, smack that like button and that subscribe button, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.